Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you taking time out of the day to just kind of get to know you a little bit better, and we can share your information with clients.
Sure.
So just really quick, who are you, like your name, and what is it that you do?
So my name's Jaime. I'm a loan officer, and I really am a believer that I help finance people's dreams. What I mean by that is I help them through the financing process when it comes to buying a home.
Okay.
Kind of walking them throughout that whole process and after.
Nice. And how'd you get started in your career?
So I always knew I wanted to get into real estate. I didn't know how or what part exactly until after I graduated college. A friend of mine, her dad, told me, well, you should try lending since you like working with numbers. And I kind of learned the hard way, pen and paper, and
oh wow.
I even had to do it with the rate sheet.
Yeah.
So everything was manual, no computer, no nothing. So
nice.
That's how I learned.
There you go. What's your favorite part about what you do?
Oh my gosh, at first, I kind of saw it as like a job.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone has a job that they have to do to make a living. But then it kind of hit me after my first purchase, a transaction I've ever done where I helped someone. I got so many compliments about the customer service and how thankful they were because they didn't think that they were even capable of getting a condo.
Yeah.
They didn't think they qualified. It was just like, let's give it a shot and let's see where it goes from there. So just seeing the reaction and I love seeing when a client doesn't think they could get approved and they end up getting the house that they want and to get approved for.
Nice. So helping people overcome some barriers into getting into home ownership.
100%.
Awesome. Who's your ideal customer? So if you had to choose from a group of people, what does the ideal customer look like? And, kind of describe what that person would be.
Ideal customer in the sense of like...
For you.
For me?
For you, right? Not an ideal customer to a mortgage lender, but an ideal customer for you specifically. Like, what's the type of person you like to work with?
I like to work with people that are open. Right?
Okay.
Open to, because me as an individual, I'm very open-minded. So I like to see like what are their goals, right? Forget about buying a home or a property. Like, what are your goals? So seeing someone that's open-minded, so I could give them different options and show them, hey, like, if you want to do investing, like, why don't you go this route, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you do? So I want someone that's adaptable to, to my feedback based on what they tell me, what they're trying to accomplish.
Awesome. And then the last question really is just, what's a fun fact about you that some people may not know?
Fun fact is, I graduated from summer high with wrestling, and there's times where like, oh man, and I mentioned it to you.
Yeah.
Where I kind of want to get back on the mat and just wrestle. It's fun and it's a workout.
Yeah.
And snowboarding. I just love snowboarding. That's
nice.
My biggest thing.
So wrestling and snowboarding.
100%.
That's awesome. So I'm all done with questions. I don't know if you had any questions for me or if you want to call it a day.
No. So let me ask you, like, how and why did you get into real estate? Because there's so many aspects into real estate that you could have gotten into, but what made you want to be a realtor?
Well, basically it's a long story. I'll make a long story really short. My father came from another country and wasn't very familiar with how certain laws or certain rules or how to do certain things here in regards to like home ownership and what to do and all these things, right? And so he had a business that really took off and he didn't know what to do with the money, right? So he bought a house, but he just didn't know how to manage that. And kind of within all of that, got taken advantage of by a few people. He got taken advantage of just by, some bad eggs in the industry within insurance and within real estate. And so, kind of outside looking in, I saw that and I was just like, man, somebody should really like help people that don't really know what's going on. And so one of the things that I absolutely love to do is in my real estate career, I'm making it a point to educate because I think everyone has a right to, number one, educate on the process and how real estate works. What is real estate, right? Everyone thinks it's just home ownership. It's not just home ownership. Real estate is something completely different. And so I take it personally to really educate clients on the importance of owning real estate, tax purposes, they can pass it down, how to take title, how to use real estate and leverage it for other things, how to keep their property, right? Because there's one thing just buying a home, it's another thing to keep your home. And I think people, unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of bad eggs in our industry. And for me, I'm trying to change that narrative that real estate agents have, because it's very negative. And I would like to educate people more, educate them on why it's important to get help, why it's important for us to represent you as a real estate professional. That's really big for me. And I take it personal, because people need to understand you're not just buying a home. There's a huge liability with it. It's a big obligation, like financially. So all those things, that's really, for me, has been super important, is educating people to just more than just like buying a house.
Yeah, and I think when you said you take it personally, I can definitely see that because we've known each other since high school.
Yeah.
And even when I was asking like, hey, like how could I help? Like you made sure to vet me, and like you knew me like prior to I was getting into the business, so I could definitely see. You take that to heart and you take care of your clients.
I definitely want to take care of my clients, not just for my own reputation, but they're trusting me to hire someone like you, right? So if they're trusting me to hire someone like you, I want to make sure, number one, that they're going to have a great experience, and number two, I can trust you in this. I can trust you with other things, but can I trust you in this? Right. And it's my obligation and my job to make sure to hold that just to a higher standard.
And I'm sure it's with everybody you work with, right?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Cool. What would you say is like your specialty in real estate? Represents, like if you had to pick one, I'm sure you have plenty of experience with different transactions and scenarios. But what would you say is your specialty, where it's like, look, this is what I am the best at, like no one's gonna beat me at this?
For me, I like to work with repeat customers, meaning I like to work with people who already own homes. Because even though I love working with first-time home buyers, a lot of times they can get very emotionally involved. And it's very difficult for me to help them navigate their emotions. They're people. And so for me, once I already have a client that's already a homeowner and they're looking to buy a second or a third property or an investment property, that's someone that I love to work with, because they're no longer emotionally invested, maybe partially, but for them, now they're starting to think through long-term, building their portfolio, things like that. And I love working with those types of people, because now we can have a clear conversation without the emotions on how can we better, help their financial situation, help them develop a real estate portfolio. And it's no longer an emotional thing, right? Because they already own property, they've already been through the process, maybe they've bought a couple homes in the past. And so that's really where I think I excel, is taking someone who's already bought a home, because I think they'll see my professionalism, my depth of knowledge, and be able to help them navigate which way to go into the market, which markets to buy in, which markets not to buy in, which time to buy if they're looking for an investment, and what times not to buy. So I think that my best clients are those who already own homes, and most homeowners that I've dealt with who are looking to buy a second property or sold and bought always come back to me. First time buyers, it's hit or miss. Yeah.
What would you say is, we're still in the beginning of the year 2023, February. What would you say is your number one goal for this year, whether it be personal, business, improving the system or something? What would that be? How does that look like?
Honestly, my number one goal for me is sticking with my systems. And, not to be distracted. I think it's easy. Everyone knows what to do, but actually getting to and doing it is very difficult. Everyone knows how to build a business. Everyone knows how to climb the mountain, right? But actually getting down there and climbing the mountain is a different thing. So for me, it's making sure that I'm staying consistent, following my systems, and that's it. It's discipline. It really is. That's my number one goal. If I'm disciplined this year, I'm successful.
Yeah, totally.
So.
And what's something that you would say that people don't know about you?
I'm a crazy tennis athlete. Yeah.
I think everyone knows that.
Yeah. Put a racket in my hand and I could do crazy things.
If you ever play tennis with this guy, he's no joke. It's like, yeah, I remember we went to El Criso and you just freaking launched your bullet.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not even fair.
Yeah. So, no, I mean, I love the sport. I love what tennis is, and the analogies between tennis and life, and just everything about the game. I'm just absolutely obsessed and I love it. Yeah, tennis is a big passion of mine.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
That's it.
for me.
Cool.